Hello everyone, welcome back to a new episode of Pentiment. Last time we left off, we were here feasting with everyone and it was a fun time. And I realized while I was rendering the video yesterday, Thomas left and I was like, oh, Thomas is up to something. I wonder what Thomas is up to. Claus is sitting at home alone and Thomas just left. So I'm just gonna go ahead and let that hang in the air for a moment. I realized that when I was editing the video, and also a commenter mentioned it, Deku Lily. So, yeah, that's scary. Hello, Magdalene. Happy Christmas to you. Good evening, Magdalene. Merry Christmas, you two. Well, Ricky, Andreas, say hello to Mistress Struckrin. Hi. Hi. Oh, Andreas, don't be shy. You know Mistress Magdalene. Sorry, Magdalene, he's still a bit quiet. That's okay. That's alright, there's a lot of commotion here tonight. Well, Ricky, I'm still not used to you addressing me as Mr. Struckrin yet. That's alright, there's a lot of commotion here tonight. Yeah, sometimes kids can get overwhelmed. Yes, I think Andreas is a little overwhelmed after the Perchton loft. Perchton used to scare me when I was little, too. One day you'll dress up as a Perchton, too, Andreas. I don't want to be a monster. You won't be, Andreas. You only dress up like a monster. Everyone plays pretend, like you and Ulriki. I want to play as a Perchton Fuzzy Heads. Shh, Ulriki, you can look at the masks later. How did you like Jorg's speech, Magdalene? It's a reminder of everything we still have. We all needed to hear it. Bit simple, I think, but not bad. Liked it well enough. I guess someone had to say something. It's only right that it should be a council member. It's a good reminder of everything we still have. We all needed to hear it. For Paul putting him up to it at the last moment, it was well done. Well, Werner insisted someone on the council make a speech. I didn't particularly want it to be me. But Jorg did it justice. You can always count on him to speak from the heart, especially if he drinks in. Truthful, I think much of the town needed some encouragement tonight. Or truthfully. Tassing hasn't had such a hard season since the revolt. Yes, I'm sorry, it's Christmas. We shouldn't speak of such sad times. Let's toast to better days, then. Cheers to that. Although there is an old Latin proverb my dad used to say to me, Ignis aurum proat, miseria fortes viros. Fire is the test of gold, misery is the proof of strong men. There's no question the revolt left Tassing worse off, but seeing the town now gives me hope. You're an artist, Magdalene. I think you can see it too. I don't know about that. Aside from the church holidays, the past few months have felt bleak. You mean how I'm painting the Red House mural? I think I do. Things seem brighter for Tassing somehow. I don't know. I don't know about that. Aside from church holidays, the past few months have felt bleak. Oh, Magdalene, things will get better. They always do. God always provides, no matter the season. Well, God has not led me to the thread puller. So, there's that. Anna's right. Even though the revolt led to a hard winter, life has gotten better for Tassing. To be honest, most nights I'm grateful for the revolt. How can you be grateful for something so terrible? Well, I mean, I mentioned over there to Jorg that the revolt's kind of the only reason that we were allowed to govern ourselves at this point, so... Really? Oh yes, you wouldn't remember, but life was already terrible before that night. The revolt burned away the dead wood that had rotted Tassing for decades. God knows my father was an evil man. His death released me from years of fear. The revolt gave me the courage to face him, to become better than him. I think something of the same happened when the Abbey was destroyed. Things had gone on as they always did. Well, I doubt we'd be having it such a Yule feast tonight. The cost was high, but it resulted in just as much joy as grief. I hadn't thought about it that way. Because of the revolt, I could marry Paul, and we can supply grain to peasants at a fair price. Our children will grow up without the fear that ruled over my life as I got older. No moment in life is entirely good or bad, Magdalene. What matters more is how we choose to see it. It's a wonderful way to look at it, Anna, thank you. I don't know, I don't see how my dad's attack can be anything but evil. Without an objective perspective, we could lose all hold on what we perceive is good or bad. But without an objective perspective, we could lose all hold on what we perceive is good or bad. Well, I mean, what is good or bad is subjective, not objective, so... But maybe I'm just misreading this / misinterpreting what you're saying here. It's a wonderful way to look at it, Anna. Thank you. Oh, well, it's something I learned from one of Father Thomas's sermons. I took it to heart when my father died. Don't forget to take some time to have fun tonight, alright? Mommy, I want another cookie. Shh, don't yell, sweetheart. Excuse us, Magdalene. It seems we have cookies to fetch. Of course. Merry Christmas to all of you. Merry Christmas, Magdalene. Alright, here's the scream. Oh no, we gotta talk to Big Jorg. Okay, once we talk to Big Jorg, things are probably gonna progress. Oh, I'm not excited. I'm not excited. Hey, Magdalene. Sorry to bother you during the feast. Oh, hello, Jorg. Did you need something? Well, all the chatter around the revolt earlier had me thinking. You're nearly done with the mural, aren't you? Last time you talked to the council, you said you were working on the final portion, painting the revolt. I don't mean to nag during the feast, though. That's Veronica's job. I should have it done soon. I've been listening to people around town talk about the revolt so I can get a better idea of how to paint it. Everyone has a different idea of how that night happened. But I think I finally settled on how I want to depict it. Yeah? I want to honor what the peasants stood for. I'll show Otto giving a speech and the soldiers in the distance. Paint the peasants burning the abbey and the mill, and the Landsknechts defending the monks. I think I'll show the aftermath of the revolt and paint the ruined abbey surrounded by everyone who died and their families. I want to honor what the peasants stood for. I'll show Otto giving a speech and the soldiers in the distance. I think I'll show the aftermath of the revolt and paint the ruined abbey surrounded by everyone who died and their families. Peasants burning the abbey and the mill, and the Landsknechts defending the monks. I mean, honestly, I think I want to honor what the peasants stood for. I'll show Otto giving a speech. This doesn't put Peter in a fantastic position. It's more so focusing on Otto, because yeah, I do want to honor what the peasants stood for. That's a good perspective. Shows what happened without being too detailed about, well, what happened. Sure, everyone will love it. Claus would be proud of the design you've picked. Eva will like that especially. Anyway, I'll get out of your way. You've got better things to do. I think Otz was looking for you too. Huh, I'm certain he is. He always is. Not again. He can't get the word no through his thick head, can he? I think I'll actually go home for the night. I've had enough of Otz's flirting, and I should check in on my dad. Yeah. Wow, Artemis is out. So is Apollo. Tell him hello from all of us, alright? I will. Good night, Jorg. Good night, Magdalene. I don't think this is going to go well. I don't think it's going to go well at all. Head home. Yeah, let's head home. I'm sure everything's fine. Where are you at, Thomas, you jackass? Maler? God bless you and Merry Christmas, Magdalene. Oh, Merry Christmas, Sister Amalie. Were we bothering you with the noise next door? No, not at all. Hearing people celebrating Christ's birth brings me great joy. Christmastide should be a heartening time of year for us all. I enjoyed seeing everyone feel better about the future, especially after all Tassing has endured. I always think there's something healing about coming together to celebrate Christmas. There's nothing like a warm mug of beer and music to warm up the dark winter days. I thought they'd never end. Yeah? The darkness always ends, Magdalene. We must remember that. It's fitting to celebrate Christ's birth on days with so little light and warmth. People need Christmas in the depth of winter to remind them that spring will return. We will all have a chance to live again. Magdalene, who is that? That was someone with a beard? Oh no. Dad! Please excuse me, Sister Amalie, I need to check on my father. Of course. God bless you. Thank you, sister. That was someone with a beard. The door is open. That was someone with a beard. Who? Like a long beard, it looked like. The only character I know of that has a beard that long is, like, Adok. Someone here? Dad? Like, who could that possibly be that long of a beard? It's no celebration for one evening. Balthus' beer is strong enough and people are getting unruly or sleepy. Time to head home and see how Dad's doing. I was talking to Sister Malier. Saw a strange figure by my house. When I tried to take a closer look, I noticed the front door was open. I need to check on Dad. What? Who else has a long beard like that? I really can't think of anyone. That was a very long beard. I mean, ill Peter, but Adoc's supposed to be, like, gone. And I don't think ill Peter could do it. Also, that was too tall to be ill Peter. And Adoc kind of hunches over too. I mean, I don't think it could be either of them. Maybe it's like a fake beard. Maybe they were wearing one of the masks, so I couldn't tell who it was. I don't know. They had like the hood on and stuff. Oh, I'm not excited. I'm not excited about this. Who could it... I really don't know who it could be. I still think Thomas is the thread puller, regardless of whoever this is that just did a murder. Claus? Oh, thank God. Magdalene, is that you? What's the matter? Someone was standing near the house. The door was open. I was afraid something might have happened to you. I'm sorry, I didn't hear anything. I've been asleep most of the day, most of the evening too. I'm worried about you, Magdalene. You're worried about me? You're working too hard. I know taking care of me takes up so much of your time. And I know how hard you've been working on the mural. I wanted to finish it for Christmas. I know how important it is to you. I'm still young, Dad. I don't get tired as quickly as you do. I know how important it is to you. For you to work this hard, it has to be important to you. It is important to me. I'm not going to make it, Magdalene. I know. It's alright. This is just life. I'm glad I'm going out before you, even if it's sooner than either of us would like. I've already seen too much death in my time. I just wanted to show you what I could do. I wanted you to be proud of me. I have been, every day of your life. You've never needed to prove anything to me. I wish I could stay to see the mural when you finish it, but I don't need to. I know it'll be more beautiful than anything these old hands have ever made. Mom was the artist, don't say that. Don't say that. It's true though, I mean... I got along alright. I always knew you would surpass me before long. You can already see things that I never could. See things and make them real. I'm trying. You're doing it. Whether I die tonight or tomorrow, or the next day, I'm not going to be here much longer. One morning you're going to wake up and you'll have to do things for yourself. Love things for yourself, and you'll have to share it with the world. Love is the only reason to do anything in this life. Oh, all this talking. Too much. Could you bring me something to eat? Of course, Dad. You haven't eaten all day. And I missed the Christmas feast, too. Can't believe no one brought me a cookie. I'll go get some soup. I don't like this. What'd you do? Did you poison the food or something? Because you clearly walked in here and I don't think I caught you in the act. I think you came in here and did something. You either like poisoned some food or you left me a note or... Oh! Behind the door? Oh, no way. You were just chilling... Is that why you were telling me you're not going to be here much longer? You knew they were waiting behind the door and you're letting yourself go so that... Oh, you agreed to let them take you so so they wouldn't hurt me, possibly. Or you're just like, it's my time, I'll just let myself go. Who in the nine hells is this? Klaus. I'm sorry, Klaus. About everything. You're here. I'm trying to keep Magdalene safe. I think so. These days I feel like my mind has been cracking apart. I thought I could stop all of this. Oh my god! Wait. Wait, really? I thought I could stop all of this. But I couldn't. So many people paid the price. I've been trying to figure it out this whole time. After the fire, it's all I could think about. It's Andreas! Oh my god! I mean, yeah, we didn't actually see Andreas die. But holy shit, okay. That's an interesting wrinkle. I was thinking this character was the thread puller, or whoever the thread puller was using to kill people, basically. But this has been Andreas the whole time. That and them. They never left me. They're all still there, all in the dance of death. The Baron Piero, Ferenc, Martin, Peter, Otto, Caspar, August, and now you. Dad? Oh god, it's you. Who are you? What are you doing to my father? Magdalene, it's alright, it's alright. I'm sorry. Forgotten my manners after all these years. And you've likely forgotten my face, or what it once was. There he is! Oh my god, what? I seriously thought Andreas was dead. Alright, but as soon as it popped up and it was like me making the choices, I was like, holy shit. Wow, okay. That is unexpected. I mean, I should have expected it, because usually if you don't actually see the process of a character dying, you always have to keep in mind in the back of your head that they may pull some shit and be like, the character's actually alive. What have you been doing all of these years? If you survived, why didn't you come back? Were you just trying to investigate everything on your own in the woods or in the Abbey? Oh god, Andreas. What have you been through all of these years? Jeez. It looks like you're wearing old monk habits too. Like that looks like what you're wearing. It looks like you're just wearing a habit. So did you just go back to the Abbey and you've just been squatting there all of these years? I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense, I suppose. Andreas would know about these, like, secret passages and things if he could get around. I mean, I obviously he's not the one doing the murders. But it seems like he's just been obsessed with this idea of trying to solve this, even all of these years later. Oh my god. Back from the dead. The earliest memory I have of you is running into a burning library. I'm sorry. I don't understand. No one could have survived that. Maybe I shouldn't have, but I did. Don't understand, Andreas. Where have you been all these years? Hiding from the world. In the ruins, mostly. Sometimes in the woods when it was warm. Stealing bread from Gret, stealing books from you. Oh, so I wasn't going crazy. It's the only thing that kept my mind from forgetting what words were. Wait, how did you survive the fire? With some difficulty. Grabbed as many books as I could and threw them into the scriptorium. When the smoke got too thick, I started to black out. The next thing I remember was Caspar pulling me into the crypt. Caspar? Caspar? Your apprentice, the boy. You sent him back to Salzburg. He didn't leave. He waited in the woods and watched what was happening. When he saw me in the window of the library, he ran through the crypt to save me. And he did. But But he saw that I was trying to save the books, and he went back in. Ugh. I mean, God, this is the worst, because I had already come to terms with Caspar's death, you know? But now this is basically, like, finding out how he actually died is just like him dying all over again. I mean, at least we have Andreas, but Andreas has clearly been through some shit. I couldn't stop him. I was barely conscious. He never came back out, Claus. When I woke up, everyone was dead or gone. I couldn't face any of you. I couldn't go back to Sabine, that empty house. Oh, Andreas, you poor, poor, poor dude. So I hid. Why have you been following me? I thought you were trying to kill me. You painted over the Dance of Death in the Abbey. Yeah, so that was you. Okay. You painted over the Dance of Death in the Abbey. Turns out I had a reason to keep painting. I'm sorry if I scared you. No one's come to the Abbey for years. I thought I was safe there. I was afraid to talk to you. Afraid to talk to anyone. This is actually interesting. I've seen an article or a story about a person that basically ran away from home when they were 18 and just lived in the wilderness for like 40 years, and they stole things from, like, you know, people, and they would collect books, and like they were still, you know, learned and everything. They stole books from people, they stole food from houses when they couldn't get food themselves, and they just lived in the wilderness, in the woods, and no one found them for like 40 years. He finally got caught when he was like 50 or 60, 50-something, 60-something, and when he was brought back in, like, he actually couldn't grasp human speech for a little bit. He had to have speech therapy to learn how to do it again, because he's like, yeah, I haven't spoken to someone in 40 years. So, that's wild to think about, that you can just forget something like that. Did you leave us those notes, the one with the purple writing? Well, that wasn't him. What changed? Why are you here tonight? To help you. To help Claus. Help me? Help me with the mural? Help you survive to finish it. The hand that tried to kill your father will likely strike again. It has killed before to prevent Tassing's history from being known. Tassing's history? Why? Because Tassing's real history is at odds with the story we've all been told. It's been covered bit by bit, layer by layer, until it can no longer be seen. But it's still here. It's always been here, hidden beneath our feet. And it's still protected, haunted by the specter of death that has hung over this place for generations. The Thread Puller. Thread Puller? Beneath our feet? What are you talking about? The person who attacked your father is the same person who manipulated someone into killing Otto Zimmerman. And Lorenz Rothvogel. Yes, and they travel through the Roman aqueduct that connects Tassing and Kiersau. It's a network of tunnels I've become quite familiar with. And I've seen the ghost that haunts them, that can squeeze through the tiniest opening. I've seen it bend itself in half to reach places I could never follow. I've traveled along every inch of the aqueduct in the old city, but there's one place I have never found. The lair where the Thread Puller retreats to, the ancient Roman temple that is determined to hide from view. The Mithraeum. Probably, yes? So wait, so the Thread Puller is just the ghost. I'm wrong to be thinking it's actually Thomas. I mean, I was waiting for the ghost thing to come up again, but I didn't think the Thread Puller itself was actually going to be the ghost. The Mithraeum, you found it? No, but I mapped out a darkness between the collapsed tunnels. And I believe I know how to get there. Come with me, I'll show you. Alright. Good. Let's go. Will you be alright? Yes, I'll be fine. Protect my daughter, Andreas. With my life, Claus, I promise. Alright, let's find the Mithraeum. Holy shit. What a reveal, my god. I mean, like I said, I should have seen that coming and it shouldn't have surprised me as much as it did. But I'm so focused on, like, Thomas. I was laser focused on Thomas that... Yeah, I mean, the idea of Andreas still being alive definitely went through my head a few times. I just never mentioned it. Because it is so common in media for... If you don't see them die, like, straight up, if you do not see the lifeblood leave their body, just basically assume they're not dead. But... I was really just expecting this to be about finding out who the thread puller was, and then this mysterious figure was the thread puller, but it actually wasn't. The rat house? What are we doing here? When the men dug the foundation, they found Roman ruins that had been buried over time. Lucky never wasted stone, so he used the Roman walls as one of the cellars. There's a way inside. To the hidden place. Are you alright? Yes. Alright, into the Ratskeller. The Ratskeller? Was that the rat... Ratskeller? It was like, with the rat cellar? We have Andreas. The strange figure that's been following us was Andreas Maler. He survived the fire all those years ago, but he's been hiding in the Abbey ruins ever since. It's hard to believe, but he's come back to help me find the person who attacked Dad. He calls him the thread puller and says we need to find the Mithraeum under the rat house. It's hard to make sense of it all, but Dad says I can trust him. Andreas. I love you, Andreas. Did the game save? The game was last saved 37 seconds ago. Okay, I think we're gonna go ahead and end this one off here. I got a lot of stuff to work through in my head. I can't believe Andreas is here. When I saw a character with a beard, I was like, we don't know anyone that has a beard. Who is this? But it was Andreas of all people, and you survived the fire. Yeah, I should have seen it coming. But I was like, I'm sitting here, I was like, is Adok secretly a superhuman? Alright, well, I hope you've enjoyed this revelation-packed episode of Pentiment. And I'll see you next time for some more, possibly the finale?